Our journey begins millions of light years away, where an invisible giant waits at the heart of a distant galaxy. From this distance, the black hole looks almost simple, but the space around it is already behaving strangely. The closer we travel, the more distant light bends, turning ordinary stars into strange rings and distorted arcs. Around the darkness, superheated matter races in enormous circles, glowing brighter as gravity pulls it toward the center. Here, space itself becomes distorted, and the shortest path through the universe is no longer perfectly straight. For a moment, light itself appears trapped in a cosmic loop, circling the darkness before escaping into space. As we descend deeper, time itself begins running differently compared with an observer watching safely from far away. Every message sent outward becomes weaker and more delayed, carrying the final evidence of our descent back into space. Ahead lies the event horizon, not a solid surface, but a boundary beyond which escape becomes physically impossible. Ahead lies the event horizon, not a solid surface, but a boundary beyond which escape becomes impossible, even for light itself. Inside the horizon, turning around is no longer a real option. Every possible future direction leads farther toward the center. Behind us, the outside universe remains visible, compressed into a strange glowing window as our descent continues deeper. Gravity now changes dramatically across short distances, stretching nearby material lengthwise while squeezing it from the sides. A small probe released beside us accelerates away, revealing just how violently gravity dominates motion this deep inside. At this depth, distance itself becomes deceptive, because space-time is so strongly curved that ordinary geometry no longer behaves normally. Above us, the once familiar accretion disk has transformed into a gigantic warped arc surrounding the darkness. Far away, observers can watch the universe evolve, while our own journey continues through only a much shorter span of experienced time. Even beams of light around us are forced onto bizarre trajectories, bending through the same curved space-time that carries our falling spacecraft. Even beams of light around us are forced onto bizarre trajectories, bending through the same curved space-time that carries our falling spacecraft. There is no road back now. Every possible path ahead carries us toward the deepest and least understood region of the black hole. Gravity is becoming uneven across the spacecraft, pulling its front and rear with increasingly different strength. As we descend, objects nearby are stretched into impossibly thin shapes, revealing just how violently gravity changes across this region. Ahead, the black hole's shadow dominates everything, surrounded by a narrow ring where escaping light still manages to reach us. From the cockpit, the universe no longer surrounds us normally. Distant light appears to come from directions that should seem impossible. For the last time, we look upward and watch the glowing accretion disk shrink into a distant crescent above us. Even light trying to move outward now bends back toward the interior, leaving darkness as the dominant direction. From far away, our spacecraft can no longer be followed directly, while from inside, the descent continues without interruption. The curvature becomes so extreme that space appears tunnel-like, even though no physical tunnel exists around us. Our descent becomes increasingly rapid, while the surrounding stars stretch into luminous streaks across the collapsing view. We have entered a region where familiar landmarks vanish, and modern physics offers no simple visual description of what comes next. Behind us, the visible universe compresses into a narrow band of light, while the darkness ahead continues expanding. The last visible stars stretch into faint arcs, then disappear one after another as our view of the outside universe closes. Around us, matter no longer moves freely. Countless streams curve inward, following trajectories shaped by the immense gravitational field. Even our spacecraft appears in multiple distorted positions, because its own light is reaching the camera along different curved paths. Space-time is now curved to such an extreme degree that even our usual idea of a straight path becomes almost meaningless. For the first time, there is almost nothing left to see, only our spacecraft, drifting through an environment unlike ordinary space. Nearby debris suffers an even stranger fate, stretching into long filaments as the gravitational difference across each object grows stronger. Ahead lies the theoretical singularity, where our current equations predict conditions so extreme that they stop giving us a complete answer. Near this extreme boundary of theory, general relativity alone cannot tell us exactly what the final moments of the journey would look like. Our spacecraft continues toward the center, entering a realm where observation ends and the deepest mysteries of gravity begin.